Екологічної ініціативи в нашому
In pre-war times, they were pretty. Let's say they had pretty, as she says, civil type of activities. And one of their projects were the training center, where people were taught how to recycle the garbage, because our people cannot even sort out the things correctly. So that's what they did, the center, to teach people how to recycle properly garbage.
Зараз в цьому приміщенні живуть біженці.
And now this premises engaged also for allocation they have people living there, refugees.
Це допомога харківським клубам, саме тушонку возили. Ну, це я вже показувала.
She already showed these pictures. They were sharing with Kharkiv colleagues from Rotary Kharkiv. They brought them food supplies.
Один раз в тиждень їде отака машина, десь 20 ящиків тушонки і все інше.
Once per week they have one car like this. It's actually a bus, cargo bus, delivering from Cherkasy to Kharkiv food supplies for their colleagues. Usually it's canned meat and this type of things.
Так. Ми її виготовляємо самі в школі.
They process this meat themselves. They use kitchen of one of the schools, and they have cooks who work there, and then they send this meat once.
What kind of meat is it?
Kharkiv. Це свинина.
Так.
Pork. It's pork.
І курятина наша ряба нам допомагала на початку. Зараз вже ми
And
платимо.
chicken, before they had it for free from one of the biggest local producers, Nasha Ryaba. They were getting this chicken for free and processing, but now they have to pay for
Зараз
it.
ми вже платимо, фандрейзимо і закуповуємо. Це частина нашого клубу. Ми ще висаджували на території садочку. Маємо проект «Сади перемоги». Висаджуємо все, що тільки можна, тому що розуміємо, що потреба в продуктах харчування буде велика.
And they also have this sub-project that say they plant trees, fruit trees. They call it orchards of victory, because they understand that well, we all waiting for this victory very much, but we understand that food supply is also very important. So they also do this kind of orcharding activity.
But
So
it
you-
will be many years before food is
Yes.
coming from it.
So you said pre-war, you mean 4 months ago?
Yeah, 3 and half. We also count these days, just, you know, on TV we have this number of days when you switch on the TV. It's like 96 days it was yesterday, so today 97.
Oh my God.
Оце якраз розвозка, про яку ми розповідали, я її не могла в телефоні знайти. Це от фотографії, все, де ми доставки.
That's how they do delivery when they bring already to end recipients. You see how they.
Це наша Оля Галушко.
This girl, вона з клуба, так?
Так.
This girl is Olga Galushka. She's from the Rotary Club, so she brings some supplies already.
І з нашого
And
клубу
recipients.
Володимир Панченко, він з першого дня започаткував при нашій міській раді центр гуманітарний. І він є помічником заступниці міського голови.
And
який
their colleague
відповідає за це.
from their Rotary Club, he is deputy of заступник міського голови.
Він помічник заступника, але він член нашого клубу.
Okay, he's deputy of one of the advisors of the city mayor, and in first days of war he actually initiated founding this humanitarian hub there in Cherkasy, through which they deliver aid.
До цього він працював в Мінцифрі, але звільнився і приїхав зараз волонтерити.
Before he was working in Ministry of Digitalization, as we have it in Ukraine, but now he got he discontinued and he just served as volunteer.
Is anyone able to get supplies into Mariupol? Azov Steelers.
Кто-то может доставить что-то на Азовсталь?
Я думаю, що зараз ні.
Now?
Тому що в нас є один дуже активний також клуб Київ Інтернешнл. І вони намагалися це зробити місяць тому. Простояло 3 20-тонних машини з всім необхідним, і вони не змогли заїхати.
We have also another
Оксана
active,
Тюпа,
another active Rotary Club, Kyiv International, with Oksana Tyupa being head of it, president. And когда это было? Сколько недель?
місяць.
1 month ago, they had 3 20-ton cargo vehicles standing there in line, waiting for being, to have this pass to deliver, and they didn't succeed. It was never opened. The pass was never opened.
До речі, перший гуманітарний вантаж в місто, 4 машини, це 2 машини з 2 прицепами доставив наш клуб в місто взагалі.
В Маріуполь?
Ні, в Черкаси. Ну я про те, що якби ми почали взагалі.
And their Rotary Club, Cherkasy Rotary Club, Cherkasy International, they were actually not among the Rotary clubs, but they were first who delivered first humanitarian aid for cargo vehicles to Cherkasy.
Це close.
So it was their club. They started doing it, and then another
Отримали
initiatives appeared.
грамоту від мера.
They received a letter of appreciation
Позавчора.
from mayor the day before yesterday. So yeah.
So there's no one helping. The Azov Steelworks are big news in USA, and we watch every day and hear about the devastation in Mariupol and now Odessa, and we worry that Ukraine will be cut off from the sea. And how do you then ship grain to the world? I mean, you're the breadbasket of the world.
That's how we do it now, by cars, by specialized cargo vehicles. And when we went here today, yes, we just huge line of these cargo vehicles delivering grain through the border now. Yeah.
But that's much more.
From other side, you should understand that Kherson region, actually where I'm from, right, was occupied very quickly, and we had huge grain storages there in Kherson port, and it was stolen. This grain was stolen. So we now out of very big reserve which we had of grains. Most probably it will be sold through Syria. It's already in Mediterranean Sea, and our intelligence they track this cargoes, but unfortunately we cannot stop. There are no means how to stop this, sell quickly. But we're out of grain, like half of our storages was stolen.
Але доставки в критичні міста, де ще можна робити, треба робити зараз. Ну це
But deliveries to this critical, as she said, cities which at least a bit opened or sometimes opened and then locked again, we should do it now. We should try it every day
де
because
ще можна це робити, треба це робити.
where it's possible.
Одеса можна.
Odessa available, we can deliver there.
The port is open.
Херсон навіть.
Port is closed, but the city is open. So even though they're being attacked by rockets and etc., they still have this means of transportation for them. Kharkiv open, bad situation, but cargo vehicles delivering
Потім
there.
Краматорськ
frequently.
возять.
Well, but I'm talking about the Ukraine economy, which
Про
is
економіку говорить зараз, а не
because without being able to ship grain to the world, my understanding is that with Mariupol and Odessa closed, how do you get money?
Okay, first of all, half of Ukraine already didn't start spring season. So Kherson was producing lots of grains and sunflower.
Oh,
Fully
none.
none. Farmers didn't even start because they understand that they will not harvest. Again, talking about Kharkiv, huge areas also, grains, corn and sunflower. Half of them didn't do it. Kiev region not so much. So actually now
Чернігівська те саме.
Chernihiv,
заміновано.
yes, a lot of mines in fields, so we
Відсіялась
don't know when they will.
Кіровоградська,
So
Полтавська.
this season we even we lost our reserves, but also we didn't plant as we did before. Probably if we have we will have half of crop compared to last year. I would be surprised. I think even less. That will be.
Will the Ukrainian government subsidize the farmers that won't plant their crops?
I doubt that
Ми
they have money
розробляємо.
for that.
Я в проєкті,
We're buying
який
weapons.
розробляє проєкт підтримки, але в бюджеті немає коштів.
Marina is her like permanent job is in the project where she is involved in group which
Ми працюємо
develops
з
this
Мінрегіону.
like strategy to support these farmers. But Marina says that there are simply no funds in the budget, so you can develop this.
Азовсталь сплачував 54 мільярди гривень податків.
Azovstal,
до
this big
українського
factory,
бюджету.
every year was paying 54
Один.
milliards,
Да.
54 billion hryvnias per year of taxes. This factory was huge taxpayer. It's of course you hear it from other side, yes, but before it was city in city and it was very huge taxpayer. So we simply lost just with one factory like this 54 billion hryvnias.
Ми зараз налагоджуємо співпрацю між містами українськими і якимись закордонними, з будь-якими країнами, між містами, не лише між ротарі клабами, щоб можна було робити оцей коннекшн, щоб просто самі міста на самозабезпечення якесь перейшли на рік-два. Вижити просто.
Now
Задача вижити.
Ukrainian cities try to connect directly with other cities, like from as we call it civilized Western world, just to have like this interconnection to be able to set some economic relations. Not even on central level, but just direct connection, one city with other, at least to survive through 1 or 2 years, because we understand that in nearest couple of years, we simply our budget will not be able to subsidize anything.
Will the owners of the farms that weren't able to produce, will they lay off or fire all their workers for right now, or will they try to keep them employed even though they have nothing to,
They're not employed, they're fighting. That's one of the problems that I was learning about is Ukraine has no men to plant. They have no gasoline to run the equipment to plant. They have no chemicals to put in the ground to grow the crops. So the international, it's part of the United Nations, International Food Distribution Organization, I don't know the name of it, but they were saying that we can expect in the next 2 years famine across the world because Ukraine provides 25%, 1/4 of all the grain for the world. You're the breadbasket of the world, and you can't plant, you can't grow. There's no men to do it, no gas to run the equipment, no chemicals. So you've wiped out more than half of that 1/4 of the world. That's a huge thing.
This very we will start. I mean, world will start feeling it already in end of summer when all the countries depending on our grains, including Africa, which was buying not the grains but maize, corn from us. Yes. We will not be able to deliver again the same quantities, and Africa will start certain area of it. It's Western Africa. They will start to starve because of that, and there is no replacement. And really, this war is not only for Ukraine, but problem for Ukraine. Food safety is a big question now for the whole world. I mean, of course, economically developed countries will find the ways, and usually they produce themselves or at least have diversified sources, right? But these developing countries usually they depend on the cheapest source, and Ukraine was the cheapest in many means.
Yes. I want to change the subject just for a moment, and if you can help me. Greg has a contact in Nashville, a man who flies airplanes, and he has been volunteering to fly supplies into Ukraine.
I don't know that to be the case. I don't know that he's doing any flying for the cause. He is a pilot, and he's in Ukraine right now helping people, but I'm not sure that he's flying planes in and out of Ukraine.
Well, my point was that yesterday we were in Krakow, where his
Operations manager.
he calls her operations manager, and that's not her full-time job, but she is helping him coordinate supplies. She said, and we dropped off some supplies with her, a couple of suitcases. She claims that she was able to get some supplies recently, as 2-3 days ago, into Mariupol's Azov Steelworks.
Wow. She was able to deliver.
There are ways.
And we asked her how she did it, and she
course she
said,
says-
it's who you know.
No, she said.
She said she couldn't tell.
I can't tell you, but it's who you know and how you can do it. There are ways. And I don't know if that means they're paying off somebody, or they have secret tunnels, or sewer system goes through there or something.
You know, I was thinking about these guys there and these people there. There was one video where women, which already, thanks God, they already evacuated, where women were given this, not interview, they were just asking world to help them. And what I noted, these women were with very nicely dialed hair. And I figured, like, somehow they're staying there for months, for a few months. Somehow they are getting something. I mean, definitely, if they would not be able to get,
They'd be starved by now.
Yes. So probably there are some means and ways, but definitely, I believe that probably some Russians just taking money to let things in.
Oh.
How many people are in the plant
Come
now?
on, from Kherson. It's my native region. To get out of town where I was born, you have to pay to Russians on the blog post, as it's called, $500 per person, and you
Just
will
to
get
get
out.
out?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Big business.
Paul, I wanted to ask you, does your father understand what's the Ukrainian
From
language?
Ukraine, yes.
Is it close to Polish?
Yes, some words are close, and in the past he learned Russia language, and Russian language is close to the Ukrainian language. So he some
So
words
you
understand.
understand her?
Czy rozumiesz, co ona mówi?
Tak, ja rozumiem.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Yeah, just said.
I didn't know. You understand her? Okay. But not me.
I don't always understand you either.
But about Mariupol, whatever ways, if these guys and still civilians are there can get something, I mean, I don't care if we pay some Russians to let us this, tracks to be used. Because right now it's a matter of survival. Every day, I think 80% of our population opens this social media and we see pictures of these guys there, and we pray for them, and we understand what it cost them to have this flag over Mariupol, still be Ukrainian,
Tell me, you said that you're not originally from Lviv.
No, I'm from south of Ukraine, from Kherson, which is now occupied by Russians.
Kherson, again, that's the south of Ukraine?
Yes, it's bordering with Mykolaiv and Odessa regions.
Oh, I see. Okay.
And it has Black Sea side.
And that's where you were born and raised, and that's where you're from, but you live in Lviv now.
Yes, I entered university in Lviv in 1995, and I stayed there. Yeah.
Okay.
But still, I still cannot say who am I.
Are your parents in there?
Lviv,
Kherson.
Lvivian. No, my parents are in Kherson. Yes.
They are in Kherson, occupied by Russians.
Yes.
Have they tried to get out? don't want to.
They didn't have time to get out because this area of Kherson where my mother lives and my aunts was occupied very quickly. It was like its area right where Russians get out from Crimea. They occupied it very quickly.
I see.
And then you have Dnieper. They destroyed the bridge, and then you have Kherson. So now our forces already on edge of Kherson, fighting back. and it's already counter-attack from side of Ukrainian army. But we understand that Russians, they are hiding behind the civilians, and it will be very hard to
Well, we learn
clean
about
the city out.
we've learned about what's happened in places around Kiev, like Bucha
Bucha and
Bucha,
Irpin.
and Irpin. Yes, and do you fear that could happen in?
It could. As soon as these guys will understand that they will no longer stay in there but escaping, they might turn into
Butchers.
yes.
Right now, what is it like living in an occupied part of Ukraine for your parents?
yes,
Can they come and go throughout the city?
For my mother to go to Kherson, and she lives in village nearby Kherson, she has to pass 16 block posts with Russians, 16. And you never know if you really will pass it all. So public transportation buses, small buses, again, you never know if it will pass certain block posts. So that's it. Russians were saying that they will bring their rubles and will make it ruble zone, where you can pay with Russian money. It's not the case. They don't have rubles to feed whole the region. So how it happens now, we send money through our Ukrainian banking system. Then there are some people who for 10% encashing these funds, and all the economy still be hryvnia linked. I mean, they pay in Ukrainian hryvnias. But the problem is, and it's real problem, Russians, since war started and since they occupied this area, they didn't let even one humanitarian cargo vehicle with medicines to enter the region. And they really, what I do now, just like small initiative on my side, we buy medicines in Odessa and Nikolaev and trying to deliver them to this occupied area, and it took us almost 3 weeks to deliver medicines in small cars with private people, just simple medicines, heart, blood pressure regulating,
Insulin.
Yes.
My wife is diabetic, so I'm always, how does a diabetic without insulin is dead?
Yes.
So they can't even get insulin.
So first they were buying like whatever was in region, and now unfortunately the only way is to buy. Now these Russians started to bring in from Crimea the medicines and selling them by very high price. From other side, what can you do? So it's good business.
For the Russians.
Yes, sure.
Supply and demand.
Can they use drones to get medicine in?
Actually, I think they could try, but drones would be heated because definitely we have a lot of drones that are used by militaries, and Russians of course not welcoming this at all. So. As for Azovstal, I believe there were some attempts and some were successful when drones were delivering to them supplies. I heard that sometimes it was successful, but many were just destroyed.
So are you going to win this war?
Yes.
What do you define as win?
As what?
What do you define as win?
We?
What does win mean to you?
What does that win mean? Does that mean win back Mariupol, win back all of the eastern, destroy Russia? Has anybody bombed Moscow? I mean,
No, you see, Ukrainians are not. We don't have invasion in our blood. We don't want it. Like going to Moscow, we just simply don't need it. What for? What we want is to get our to get our Ukraine back with Crimea, with Donetsk, with Lugansk.
yes.
I think we already won a lot of souls, as I say, people who were not patriotic, maybe, who were considering like we are like one post-Soviet Union nation. Yeah, there were many people like this. Because of this war, we have a lot of people looking at these terrifying things, and these people understood that they're Ukrainians. We have a lot of Russian speaking. I'm Russian speaking Ukrainian, right? I have I speak perfect Ukrainian language, but I'm at home. I speak Russian. My husband speaks only Ukrainian, and it's fine. No fights whatsoever. So, some
You and your
politicians-
husband never fight?
No, we fight not because of language. We fight, but not because of language. And some politicians just used it to shake our country inside in 2013-14. Now this war actually made us more united. We were not as united as now, and we're really grateful for all the support we get now. So with our will to win and with this support, and we are still a big country. A lot of us.
You have united all of Europe. Sweden, Finland, all these countries want to join NATO because
You know what I'm
Ukraine-
saying? Putin united all the Europe.
True.
Yeah.
It's
He wanted to have
Bigger
NATO
from less, now it's growing.
Right. I think it's becoming. He's accomplished the opposite of what he tried
He
to
never
do.
thought. He never thought we will fight back as aggressively.
What do you think of Zelensky, you personally? President Zelensky?
No,
You don't like him?
Your party?
Yes,
I don't
two
like him.
by
I don't like him because he didn't pay attention to equipping army, having war in country
Where?
on the adequate level. That's why.
Somewhere here.
Somewhere.
So you think he failed in preparation?
I think he was just wrong person
I didn't.
to feel this need.
What do you think?
А ти президентська ваша помежа?
Я думаю, що він молодець.
Роберто запитання.
You were always
She
sitting
thinks that
here.
he is a great guy.
Я не голосувала за нього, але
She wasn't voting for him then,
зараз він молодець.
but now he is doing right things, she thinks.
I'm so sorry.
Do you think that?
No.
Even now, he's not doing the right thing. Wow.
No.
In America, we look at him and say he was a comedian, but he has risen to the occasion.
We want him to be president of the United States.
Oh no, guys. No, I mean what
That's
he
my
does
job.
now. He does right things. He's communicating,
He
and,
stayed in Kiev instead of fleeing. And
but it would be actually not worse of leader if he would escape. No, so he
we
did
think
what
so.
he should. Actually, right? Let's say.
Robert, can I? Could you check if you don't have my case? Because when you
What case?
take, when you took your documents and case picture,